Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategic or compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. Today's video we're going to be looking at the potential impact of the Silicon Valley banking crisis on MMTLP. We're also going to be looking at a new penny stock to the channel with an analyst price target of in excess of $90, currently trading around about 56 cents, so stay tuned for that. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the markets. So headline here with regard to the SVB fallout. We're also looking at inflation, retail sales and what to know this week. So if we continue with the article, we can see here there are two key economic data points ahead of the Federal Reserve policy meeting just coming up, and obviously we have the impact of the Silicon Valley Bank collapse as well. So I think this is going to be a very difficult week of trading. We also have the February Consumer Price Index on Tuesday and the February read on retail sales Wednesday. So if we have a look at the economic calendar here, no economic releases scheduled for Monday. We have the Consumer Price Index year-on-year February on Tuesday. Wednesday we have MBA mortgage applications data, producer prices year on year. Thursday we have building permits amongst a few other things, and Friday industrial production. So the key data that we'll be focusing on will be Tuesday. But if we continue with the theme of SVB, shout out here to Kobisi Letter here, who've identified some of the key companies that we know about with significant deposits with the Silicon Valley Bank. And if we have a look at some of these important ones here, we have Circle in excess of $3.3 billion, Bill.com $670 million, Roku $487 million, BlockFi $227 million, and also Roblox $150 million. So again, significant problems expected going forward for many of these companies. And if we have a look at the Fear and Greed Index right now, we are in a situation where the market has extreme fear. So let's start by having a look at the update with regard to FINRA. So John Berder has just posted it earlier. He stated, agreed, and the folks I'm working with in Congress have 45 questions to ask of FINRA. And this is one of them. If FINRA does not have this information by now, they are truly complicit. So shout out here also to Scott Scheller, who stated, simple start, demand the blue sheet investigation, MMTLP trading has stopped, force a simple real count of shares, DTTC versus the broker dealers and the market makers. So a very simple request. FINRA do have all the data, so now it's over to them to share that data. And if they are not able to share that data, then obviously do they have something to hide? So we just want a little bit of clarity. So continuing with the theme of the next post from John here, he said with regard to this time the SVB collapse, in terms of the overall amount, this is a mere pittance to what is truly going on in the market. We know the market is obviously overwhelmed with short attacks, with companies being massively undervalued. The under-bridge theft happening before our eyes daily has to be exposed. So Gary Gensler has also tagged in, now is not the time to bury your heads. You will be complicit in the destruction of our financial system. So I think we're at a critical point now in the financial system where change is needed. So Tony has tweeted here, do you think short sellers will attack other banks? So now we're in a situation where the banks could be in danger. Do you think the SEC and the Fed want to prevent this? I think maybe they do, but they're going to be in a difficult position because it's going to be without causing longs to sell. So let's see what happens in the market. Best move is for the SEC. Crack down on the naked shorts. Best way is to fix MMTLP. So certainly agree with that. Great point there. And if we follow on from the next tweet from Tony, he said, in the light of the SVB failure, do you think shorts will short and distort banks? Do you think it's time for the Fed and the SEC to crack down on naked shorting and short and distort schemes? So Junk Savvy has said, Congress is asking MMTLP, first of all, what do you want? So I think she is not able to sort of give further information, but she has some insight apparently. And what Junk Savvy is also saying, we want Congress to issue a congressional order to FINRA, open trading, force shorts to close their positions, I would add, with infinite risk. And number 2, hold congressional hearings so FINRA fraud can answer for their arbitrary and capricious actions with regard to the U3 halt. So continuing with Junk Savvy's additional thread, she's also said, Occupy Wall Street failed because there was no clear understanding of what they wanted. They had the energy, the numbers and the media coverage. MMTLP, let's not make the same mistake. I do agree with Junk Savvy. I think that was a little bit of a wasted opportunity in terms of the live opportunity of that. There was no mention of naked shorting. There was no mention of MMTLP. There was no mention of synthetic shares. So let's finally, as she says there, settle the trades and fix the market. And now I'd like to make a start on having a look at the new penny stock to the channel. This is a company known as Tenax Therapeutics. So let's have a look at the company website first of all to get an insight in terms of what they are about. So it states here they are developing groundbreaking therapies that will transform the lives of patients. So this company is driven by a patient-centric and precision medicine approach. They have innovative and highly efficient clinical trial design. They also have a passionate focus on unmet medical needs. So their primary focus is pulmonary hypertension. So let's now have a look at, first of all, the analyst rating. So currently this is trading around about the 56 cents mark. So based on 7 analysts, we can see on a high, price target is $105. On a low, it's $80. $80.80, and on a median it's $91.80. So if we have a look at the recent analyst upgrade, Roth MKM have just also initiated this as a buy. So the potential upside here is huge. On a high, it's well in excess of 18,327%. So let's now have a look at the chart. So the chart for ticker symbol TENX, also known as Tenax Therapeutics. Close of play on the Friday, it was up in excess of 22.96%, closing at 56 cents. At one point, this was up close to 65 cents. So this is a stock that we will be watching in our Discord, and also has been added to our weekly watch list. So let's have a look at some additional details for Tenax. I'm going to have a look at some of the key slides from the investor presentation. So we can see, first of all, here it states 2 phase 3 ready assets with compelling clinical data. So this is excellent. The first one here is TNX 201, an initiator there of 2023. The other one is TNX 103, 102, 101, and also with an initiate of 2023. So the first one is phase 2, phase 3, and the second one is phase 2/B. So let's now have a look at some details with regard to the financial highlights for the company. So this is a low float stock. This is a small company, and we can see here in terms of cash balance, they have approximately $3.8 million of cash. Not debt, so it's a debt-free company, no material liabilities, only trade payables, and obviously the office is leased. Common shares outstanding approximately 2.3 million on a post-split basis. So certainly a low float stock. So let's finish off here by having a look at the investment highlights. So first of all, the therapeutic focus is on patients with high unmet needs. First of all, in terms of pipeline, 2 phase 3 ready products that we've just looked at there. Efficient clinical development pathway. The FDA has agreed to a small phase 3 trials for with regard to approval for both programs. So these potential approvals will be huge catalysts for this company. Potential for significant exclusivity. So again, and the other thing from a commercial point of view is a potential opportunity for 2 $5 billion markets. So great potential here for this company with some breakthroughs. And finally, we're going to have a look at some of the short interest data. So first of all, I'm going to have a look at the short shares available. So we can see the latest information according to Fintel. It states here that there are no short shares available. So certainly it's looking low. It's very difficult to borrow. And if we have a look at the latest short borrow fees, we can see again, these are in excess of 100%. So the latest short borrow fees are 131.42%. So not a cheap stock. stock. So going forward, this is one that we will be watching in a Discord. It's also considered high risk, high reward. So ticker symbol TENX. And finally, if you'd like to consider joining us in our Discord, where we call stocks such as TRKA and also GNS be prior to the run-ups, you can certainly join us for less than $9 a month. Information is available in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.